against a very prime Psychots.
Yep.
But now it's time for RRQ and Bigatron Alpha to get into the draft of game number 1. Elimination match. You lose here, you're done for in the playoffs. Who's going to go to top 3?
Okay, so Aldo picking a page from Geek Fam's book. Ban both Baksha and Fredrin, you're A-okay. But looking at Zaya, he banned the Matilda. And, you know, here's one thing that you should notice. If a Matilda is banned, there's an automatic answer of an Angela ban. Right? So that you can expect that from Aldo because you don't want to give the first pick Angela unless, of course, you're prepared for it. There it is.
And there you go, the response, right? The natural response.
Edith is open.
Edith is open. What else is open here? Perhaps RRQ wants to explore Terizla first pick, but now neither.
Whoa.
I like it. It's a deny pick, right? We saw that. Well, what gave Onyx so many problems yesterday was Moreno. This guy is such a shadow carry, and I think for Bigatron Alpha, they're kind of taking a little bit of a Geek Fam route to this. They know how Geek Fam were able to kind of outdraft RRQ. You watched that match too, Wolf. The box shit of Frederick, taking away heroes from Fairsick really leaves a big dent onto RRQ.
The reason why you know the success was there for RRQ was because of Fursick and the way that he plays the backshot, because he doesn't only know how to play the hero, he knows the rotation that you have to play around it. Irithel is going to be picked up by Aldo as well as the Kadira. This Valentina is such a surprise to me, but then again, if you think about Lemon and him knowing all of the heroes, it kind of makes sense, you know, playing the Valentina allows you to be that explosive with a hero.
And with that, right, I expected the Irithel, sure, but I did not see Kadira. I thought it's going to be Novaria as well, right? We trade a Valentina and Novaria, though Kadira, it has more depth. Roam or mid, it's still a possibility here to give to Aldo to play around with.
Speaking on that creativity, right, of Lemon on the Valentina, here's a fun fact. RQ's international trophy, only Lemon and Zin has remained as active players from the RQ lineup when they won MPL for Nation Cup. That's the first MPL, if you guys don't remember, but it's 2. Maybe just 1 signature pick, the Claude. The Akai has been a signature for Fairsick, but he did lose just yesterday on it. The Claude, though, however, we saw that when Marquis picked this up, this was a legitimate good matchup against the Irithel. When in a meta where we were kind of struggling to find good heroes against the Irithel, usually the hero that comes to mind, it would just be the Brody. The Claude was what worked for Geek Fam yesterday, and RQ took a page out of their book.
So one thing you have to think about the Claude is that, surely in the laning stage, it does not win against Irithel. If you're good enough, you may win against the Irithel. If you have a +1, if you have a roamer there, now you have a shot. But in the late game, the Claude is a beast against the Irithel. Irithel will rarely win against the Claude. So this is really good coming out from RRQ. I think that just because of the nature of the first 3 picks and the bans coming up from RRQ, now it feels more of a Zaya-led draft. You know?
Okay, very sensible, but yeah, you're right. Claude will have more DPS against Irithel in that late game, and they set the Akai pick from the start, right? That's why they banned the Diggy out. They know they want to have a huge crowd control in their comp in that first 3 picks. Let's see your second phase, Bigatron. They will deny the Kaja wave. Will they target more heroes for Naomi?
I think that might be the good option to go for, right? Again, for Bigatron Alpha, it's very rarely that we get to see a Super Can last pick. The fact that they have saved his pick all the way to the last. Last time we saw this, it was a Fanny Cheese pick. There was a Ling as well back in the regular season. And that's why the Kaja pick is very intimidating. They instantly go for the Joy Band. They know something's up. Something's not right, Wolf.
When you look at Uranus as the explained, when it's picked up and there's no jungler yet, you can assume that it will be a carry kind of a jungler, like a scaling kind of jungler, which is Joy. Maybe a Lancelot will be the next ban here from RRQ because you don't want to give a late game scaling jungler to lineup that can easily get to the late game. That is going to be the Uranus that allows them to get into that late game. Now, interestingly, Aldo did not ban the Rafaela, even when it's one of those heroes that can be good with the Claude. So, are we going to expect the Rafaela be picked up 4th year for BTR.
Heck, I might even say that BTR Alpha can pick it up for themselves, right?
Yeah.
The Kadita pick is still a flex pick, and yeah, that Lancelot surely will be taking away a good answer to the Akai that we've seen, again, from day number 2. We saw it from Onyx, and we also saw it from Geek Fam. It's not going to be the Rafaela, though. They go for an aggressive choice against 2 heroes, the Claude, the Valentina, who can go Purify, and a hero with a built-in Purify. What's the logic behind this, Wolf?
Well, they wanted to take it away. Number 1, they want to take it away from Naomi. Number 2, they want more vision to go. Look at their composition. They want to go for the dive. Even when there's this Claude, usually you go for a dive comp against something like an Ixia, right? That sits in the backlines. So what they wanted to do is to have many sources of CC so that the Claude will be forced to purify, but they still have a follow-up.
Overwhelming the Purify, indeed. And what I really like about the draft from Bigatron is push control, right? With the Cho, with the Kadita, you can't really face check now. It's very hard because of the pick off from the side of Bigatron, but RRQ, they add more crowd control in their composition as well.
Oh, there you go.
Even against Akifra and Khalid, the Fanny pick still comes through.
That's
risky.
Oh, it's much more than just risky, right? Risky is an understatement. What the heck? Wolf, they picked up a Fanny to a big counter. It's an Akai and a Kufra. It shows that, sure, SuperCan is confident, and they want to try to maybe experiment in game number 1, going for a big gamble in game 1 with that pick.
Yeah.
But can it work?
Whew, we'll see. Now the Cho ban makes a lot more sense because now you don't have a way to invade the jungle. That means that the Fanny will have a better time. This is still a massive, I would say, gamble because they don't have they might not have enough damage to go through Akai, Kufra, and Khalid with just the Fanny in the Earthal. You get what my meaning. Surely they have the Kadita, but if the Kadita is not able to eliminate one person, you don't have the -1 already, that's going to be very difficult for them to pierce through the tankiness that this lineup from RQ has.
Well, you saw the Garuda wings of MPL Indonesia flap. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1. Into the land of Dawn we go. Bigatron Alpha with a big gamble of a draft. RRQ, stable as ever.
Game 1. Who will strike first in this best of 5? Kings of Kings or the Red Terminators?
Looking for it here, looking at it, it's going to be 2 Purifies as expected and a built-in one for Fairsick. Now, as well, SuperCan has decided to go for a very, very different route. I expected an killing spree, just like yesterday, and then building semi-tank. It's a lethal ignition this time. That means he wants to go damage.
Yeah. So they needed the damage, absolutely needed the damage. Apart from the Irithel, there will be not much that they can have for source of damage in the latter stages of the game. But one thing that I can say is that their split push is so good. Uranus as well as the Fanny.
Good Terrify here, but it seems like here both the mid laners and the roamer, they're just poking damage. They're just doing what they can here in the early minutes of the game.
And we're already seeing that again, this matchup, right? The Claw is doing really good. Naomi.
Oh, with the flicker. Bouncing ball as well. SuperCan gets taken down. Great first blood by the Kingdom's Falcon.
And already you see, we're feeling the weakness of this Fanny. Just one rotation and it's already done for Naomi. Very good, I guess, understanding of what the Fanny wanted to go for. It was a big elimination on the side of RRQ.
That bouncing ball, it really just nails you down to the ground, especially after a Tower's Revenge flicker that even SuperCan didn't anticipate. And if this continues, by the way, the first turtle, you're still safe. You can still pick up your purple buff. But once the second turtle spawns, once Big or RRQ have their ultimates, it's going to be really, really tough for Ken to even secure a purple buff.
Okay. No RRQ, they can easily just run over the jungle, so they might miss the purple buff, but look at them trying to position around the orange buff. So slowing down the Fanny is also as good as taking away the jungle, right? You don't have to fully invade against BTR. If you slow down the farm of the Fanny, that's also good enough.
And now it comes down to how Bigatron Alpha will be able to cover this Fanny, because again, he's dealing damage.
Oh, bottom lane. Oh, blazing duet here from Skylar with the BMI as well. It's a 4-man gang. And take a look at SuperCan jumping in. SuperCan looking for the Jet Kundo Purify pops. but Super Key still will grab the kill. It's 1-1 now. Great setup by the Red Robots.
RRQ got a good shutdown onto Ken. Well, Bigatron Alpha, they got the spearhead of RRQ. That's Skylar.
And they even like took away one gold cannon minion, which is also very good. Like as a gold laner, you wouldn't want to miss even just one card. And the fact that they killed him before he's able to take down that gold lane minion, that means that BTR will have a little bit of an advantage in their gold lane. And by the way, Irithel can be quicker when it comes to activation compared to a Claude.
Exactly. Only needs the Hans Claws and Berserker's Fury to really take control of the game. And honestly, for the Irithel, the reason she's so good is because even if she goes even in lane, like you mentioned, Wolf, faster initiation time, basically, to get started, to get warmed up in the game. And that's what we're seeing with the lead already. Bigatron Alpha taking these small wins, but Naomi
Jumps in, bouncing ball. Super Key with the Shunpo will be able to escape out of that bouncing ball. Good knock up here. Versik airborne, but it seems like now the damage hasn't come through. Oh, good Wave Dragon canceled by the bouncing ball. Now Lemon jumps in as well as Skylar. Super Ken, oh, good heavy spin. It seems like the damage will not come through. Sorizo escapes, no casualties, and the purple goes to the hands of RRQ.
The Kingdom's already grouping up, man. 5 members is going at it straight into the purple buff. That's what we mentioned. Second turtle.
And the fact that RRQ was faster on invading the purple, that also allowed them to have 2 lanes for Skylar to farm with. That's the strength of the Claude, right? You can go from the gold lane to the mid lane and farm 2 lanes at the same time. And Skylar now recovered.
Good way of Dragon. Before Turtle, let's see though, RRQ, even a down a man, seems like they want to go on the offense. No, Bigatron, manpower enough. Oh, good airborne, good purify as well by Lemon. Petrify though, will connect, it's huge! Lemon falls, and that is another win for Bigatron Alpha. They keep going, Moreno quite low in the backside stunned. The Tyrant Waits connects as Naomi collects the kill. Super Ken with the trade, but take a look at the bush now. It's Sorizo and Versik going at it.
An oddly strange tempoed fight with also very strange tempo mechanics there. The delay by Moreno on that Petrify to outsmart Lemon.
It all started with Diren just being so aggressive against BTR. Then RRQ, you would imagine that they should just back down because you have to respect the Petrify combo from the Kadita in the early stages of the game, and they didn't. They lost more than they gained in that game.
Look at the setup, man. Heavy spin to escape. Gets it. Oh, find a man. Super Key locked in. Flickers out of the way, though. RRQ, will they find this kill? Seems like Super Key has enough resources to get out.
And there's your answer. Why the Cho? The Shunpu gives you so much value, especially up against an Akai who needs that CC to win. Moreno!
Oh my goodness, the burst damage comes through, but it will not be enough. Take a look at the resources that RRQ throws back. Super Moreno taken out.
The group versus the split.
Woo! And it's going to be Lockdown on Sorizo, but of course that's Uranus with the pure. Not even having to use the Purify.
No.
He's okay. The split push coming out from BTR is actually very scary. So that is one thing that RQ needs to think about.
And that's a win, I would say, right? The little wins that they're getting, the fact that they got farm. Wait a minute.
Oh, overextension. Perhaps Sorizo now will be able to escape with the cover of Key. Wave Dragon connecting, but take a look at the damage by Dyren, finding a kill. Now Dyren low, good kill. It's a trade, Chibe finding one. Versik finds the heavy spin, no follow-up though, as Skylar finds his turret, but no. Super Ken would find the kill and the turtle.
Wait, we mentioned that it was the Kingdom that was grouping up and Bigatron Alpha who are splitting. What did we see just then? It was a swap in styles.
You know, the RQ wanted to give a lot of farm to the Claude, which is actually the very, very nice decision on their part. The fact of the matter, though, is that BTR found an opening because Irithel was naturally farming top lane. They were able to get that. So actually very good and fluid decision from BTR to position their marksman top lane.
Wow. Well, for RRQ, they're starting to really understand that, you know what, it's time to get Skylar ahead.
Take a look at the burst damage. Super Ken will happily find the cutthroat. Way of Dragon, the coordination man, but the DPS from Skylar is just too huge. He finds the shutdown.
It's a big bounty to be given to Skylar, a lethal Claude. One of the best, if not the best, in Indonesia.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, good airborne in the mid. Bigatron, they will focus down on the clear.
Yep.
7 minutes in here. It's 7-5. What an action-packed early game.
There was a time where you would automatically ban Claude against RRQ, and it's actually the start of the season of MPL ID. It's always it's going to be the Claude band. Oh,
Solo kill for sure.
Oh my
Dyren,
goodness.
he has it. Wow.
That's huge. 4th kill for the Khalid. And at 8 minutes, your Khalid needs to snowball. 4 kills at 8 minutes is actually pretty good.
It's
good
doing the job,
returns.
right? The snowballing. It's the death ball for Dyren. We saw that if you give this man space, if you give this man resources, he can make that kind of crazy defense that we saw yesterday. Versick, oh, pops a heavy spin late.
Oh, he was too slick with it as well. Right?
Too ambitious, actually. Even if they pin him down, might not be enough for them to take it out. But that means that they will lose 1 orange buff, and Super Ken has recovers. Level 12 compared to Versick, who's only level 10 now.
That's odd. That's very odd, right? I mean, an assassin jungler doing better. Did Claude, did Skylar just steal that orange buff? He did! Well played by Skylar, taking it away from Super Ken, who needs to save his retry for this purple buff.
Another in-bay nail
Dyren.
though. Will be kicked. Take a look at Dyren. Let him cook. Will he find a kill? No. This time Super Ken and friends will find that kill. It's a 4v5. Will they commit to this Lord? Super Ken jumps in. Cutthroat connecting. It will deal not enough damage here. Good airborne. Good knockup as well. Ooh. It seems like no, Bigatron will just try to look for the delay.
That was rough waves wasted by Lemon. I think he wanted to go.
Oh my god, Naomi. Let's see. Super Key jumps in, does not find it. Take a look at the blazing duet from Skylar. It's huge. Finding 1, looking for 2, but he jumps back to the BMI.
Oh.
Good cutthroat. What a response by Super Ken.
And again, a delayed heavy spin that didn't work out.
Oh, Moreno finding the burst. There you go. Finding, taking down Versick, and it will be traded back. It's a 2-for-2, a scrappy 2-for-2, but then again, Retry is on BTR.
The systematic Kings that relies on a front to back has been dismantled by the dynamic robots attacking from different angles at odd times.
Yeah, and there was a dynamic robot that actually stopped them. That's the Uranus going for... because this is some of fundamentals when it comes to going for the Lord Dance. He zoned out the members of RRQ even when Super Ken was recalling out. And you would think that if you're RRQ, you have the advantage just because of the fact that you poked the Fanny. But what the Uranus did was to be confident enough to zone out the members of RRQ so that it will be Super Ken to be able to get out, then get back, then take a kill onto RRQ. Well done, coming out from Super Chorizo to secure the Lord Dance win for BTR.
But it feels like they've just been sacrificing the right members at every single team fight, right? The Moreno gets picked up, but as a Kadita, as long as you are able to find someone with you, the other members of Bigatron Alpha have more powers independently. They can make plays.
Dyren finding the raging stats. Skylar though, oh, this is huge. Blazing the wet. Chorizo, no escape. My goodness. Dyren will gladly jump and find the kill. Take a look at bottom lane though. It's a 3v2. Sive targeted, has enough space to have more resource put out. Super Ken, what the heck? Earlier he was top side, now he's bot side. Naomi taking damage, Wave Dragon connecting onto a Tricyc. Oh, Super Ken finding a kill, finding the double.
That's a big double for BTR. It's 12-9, but the gold lead says it's a completely different game. It's a dominant one, objectively, for BTR.
We have not seen any good heavy spin connections coming out from RQ. And it's not even just pinning down people, the timing of it is. RQ is very much incomplete. Whenever they try to go for the heavy spin play, they have to communicate this. Otherwise, they will not win against BTR.
No way!
Oh my god, Super Ken, again. 2v1 situation, finding one. Oh, Super Moreno with the big off play.
When you have a formulaic gameplay, a template one, what Versick?
Oh, heavy spin, finding Chive. And the Skylar finds a blazing duet. Chive taken out here. Naomi will secure the kill. But it seems like Versick will be the trade here. The damage will come through Moreno and Chorizo looking for the kill. No! Versick escapes and Naomi now jumps back in.
Here comes the big boss.
Ken looking for Skylar. Cutthroat. There's not enough damage. Deals not enough damage to Naomi.
Wow. I mean, Red Terminators again, they're just getting through the formula. They found the secret formula of RRQ, and they're splitting them up real good. It's kind of like the playstyle that they've been using against Onyx.
Yeah. Because RRQ needs to group up, and so far, whenever they are separated in 2 squads, RRQ fails to win their composition with their composition. Now, everybody from RRQ is like disconnected, actually. If you look at the past 5 minutes of the game, it kind of feels like they're not making the plays as a team. Skylar, however, is on point. The way that he did not go over the top when he went for BTR, did not go overheating because he knows that Super Ken will be there. And actually, Skylar and Naomi's connection is actually real good in this game. But they need to connect together as a team if they want to win this. So far, BTR is winning with their strengths. Split the map, win with Super Ken as well as Super Cerezo, and then take over RQ.
It's that combo, man, right? I mean, they need to get a big Titan's Revenge, a big Raging Sandstorm, something of the sort to give Skylar the right space to deal damage. The Irithel has a much easier way to deal damage here, and Skylar, oh, he burned a Purify. That's big! Big information!
Versick here, isolated, taken down. Chive will secure that kill. No retreat for RRQ. Moreno, they want more. Lemon now caught. Purify for a futile resource there. Another kill on the board for BTR. Lord secured. BTR full offense.
That is another clean objective take. 2 Lords taken practically for free because they're able to look for these very cheeky initiations and pickoffs.
And this is where the Uranus really shines. Now, the vision is there. And remember, this is Cho and Kadita. They want to go for good setups. But if there's already Uranus providing the vision, everything is easy for Super Moreno.
Oh, conceal play. Super key with the montage. Finding one. Not enough damage though. Naomi will secure that kill in the mid lane. It's exposed, but no, it will. RRQ now defending. Tables by Super Ken looking for a cheeky kill. But now the Lord will be the main priority as the 3 base turrets taken now.
3 base turrets with the second Lord of the game. That's the first enhanced Lord. That's extreme value. That's triple value. BTR are playing dynamically, but also like robots, efficient as ever when necessary.
And even with a death on Super Key, that's just a roamer that they were able to eliminate. Maybe the only good thing is that the flicker was there, and Skylar didn't have the Purify during that engagement. Now he has it, and RRQ kind of survived for a few more minutes. But BTR definitely on the roll. This is also their timing. This weird interaction between like Fanny and the Uranus is that it's good in the split push, even in the latter portions of the game. Despite having a Claude on the opposite end, which is great in the late game, the late game of BTR is significantly better.
He flickers out of the way. He has immortality, and he will lose his immortality. With the damage, Moreno jumps and finds the burst on towards Naomi. It's a 5v4. Good kill, but nothing really objectively on the board here. Bigotron Alpha, what a menace.
I mean, on top of that, I feel like the heavy spin was saved up for what exactly, right? I mean, could have definitely helped Naomi get out, I feel, with that heavy spin, and now Key is about to burn it. They've just been burning that real good with either chain CC or poke damage.
It's weird, right? Because when they don't need it, he uses it.
Exactly.
And now that they need it, they're not using it. I think the communication between the ultimate of Versick is very bad from RRQ. You have to use this heavy spin correctly. That's literally why you draft the Akai.
Well, I mean, we kind of saw a glimpse of this just yesterday, Wolf. Against Geek Fam, Versick will only use that heavy spin in neutral objective contest. We saw a very different Akai from Nile, who uses it to get killed. He doesn't care about those neutral objective battles. He will dive on behind the turret, go for a flank, and bring everyone back, sweeping them like a broom. Naomi.
Catching Key, though. Take a look at the damage. It is enough to lose his mortality. Lord, though, is up. That's info. Super Key has no immortal. Now, top lane, it favors the side of the red Terminators here.
Yep.
So, let's see here, the contest, the objective contest.
It could be a split push from the Fanny. This time the Uranus can hold on to the Lord.
Top lane, take a look at Khalid, 2v1 situation. Dyron looking for the heal, grabs it. Oh, Dyron. The foul play! Dyron, let him cook!
The best Khalid in Indonesia does it again! That's a 2v1 win! A misstep by Moreno and Ken.
See, in the mid lane, Sive. Oh, good target, Naomi.
No way.
Not enough range, but the damage from Irithel will lose. Will find the mark on towards Iron. has the Way of Dragon as a cherry on top. Now, looking at the Lord, Versick is in the vicinity. Retry battle. Will.
What?
Super
Oh, man.
He finds it. Sneaky, cheeky retribution.
Well, it does have a level advantage, but the positioning is very, very sneaky. Big props to Super Ken for nailing that one. And even after the heavy spin was used, the angle of which he came from allowed him to get the retribution win versus Versick. And now this is bad news for RRQ. They don't have immortality on Diren anymore. They don't have the flicker as well for this Khalid. Whereas for the entirety of BTR, they didn't even commit anything to that. Literally, just the retribution was what they needed for that steal.
It's not just the retribution that I have in my head right now. I'm thinking about the toll, the mental toll of that retry steal, right? Sure, this game might be over for RRQ, but what happens next? Versick has missed heavy spins, has missed retries.
The final push potentially. Oh, Super Key finding the montage again. Darren taking now the base, quite wide open here. Skylar looking, popping the blazing duet to clear the waves. Will it be enough? Key, low, Versick taken out. Take a look at the minions. It's there for Bigatron Alpha. Key, everyone focused down on the base. And take a look at Skylar. But no, it will not be enough as the red robots, they strike first in this best of 5.
The Red Terminators, I was saying, convincing performances from the Red Terminators have been a very rare sight to see from the second leg. But now, are the Red Terminators really back? Is this the SPS form?
That loss against Onyx might have wakened them up. Because this is definitely not the way BTR played in the final weeks of... this is not how they look like in the final weeks of MPL. Definitely not. In the second leg, definitely not the fourth. They have waken up after losing to Onyx yesterday. And I say that because they were so on point. Super Ken is very confident. You can see the Uranus. You see Sorizo just playing the macro so well. And then, of course, the way that Moreno is playing in this game with the Kadida also on point. Precision is the key for BTR on why they won against